Hi there, good evening. Welcome along to the Transfer Show. There is a month and a half to go until clubs have the chance to reinforce or perhaps even correct course in the January window. But who needs to do what? Alan Pardew is with.
And I'll be taking a look at the top 16 most expensive signings of the summer and assessing who have been hits and who are yet to start firing. Alan Pardew, you best get your thinking cap on.
OK, got your thinking cap on?
Well, some of them don't take a lot of thinking.
Good answer. Right, we're going to start with Manchester United. I wonder how much pondering you'll have to do over this. Who, after very heavy investment in the summer, go into the international break 7th in the table, a point off the Champions League places. And like many, Carvey, they did invest heavily in the summer, but it appears they might not go back into the window in January.
Look, I think the kind of players that Manchester United will be targeting are not the kind of players who would be available in January. I think they had a good summer transfer window. Ruben Amorim has got them playing. You can see the improved performances on the pitch. I know they'll be losing 3 players to the African Cup of Nations this winter, but I don't think they'll be making any panic signings. I think next summer they'll be looking at bringing in another defensive player, the kind of players they've been linked with, like Adam Wharton, Belieber as well, Anderson. Those kind of players are very difficult to sign, and if you're going to sign them, the only time you're really going to get them is in the summer. So I think it could be a quiet window for United, but there could be players leaving. For instance, somebody like Joshua Zirkzee may feel that he needs to be playing more regularly. Also, Kobe Mainoo. You know, the World Cup is coming up next summer. He's somebody who was involved in the Euros last time round. He's not going to get into Thomas Tuchel's squad if he's not playing regularly. So he could potentially be a departure, maybe on loan.
Alan, does that surprise you? Because kind of this could be the chance to really sort of get it, you know, bedded down and get the extra players that they might just need in the January. I hear what Carvey is saying. The players that they might want might not be available. But does that surprise you that they might not go in the window again?
Well, I don't think it surprises me. The one thing I'll say about Amorim, he seems to have settled the group a little bit in terms of the discipline, the noises coming out of the training ground seem to be more positive now. The results are improving. Some of the new transfers are making an impact. So they're on an upward, they're up the graph, so to speak. You wouldn't want to interfere with that. Sometimes a transfer can interfere with that balance. So I would suggest Amorim will be okay. I think he sees, and the expectation on him is not really Champions League football. I think it's just to have a really solid season. So if I was sitting where he's sitting, I would stick at the moment. But you know, the one thing about a window is that things do happen. Players come available that might interest Manchester United. So you never say never. But I think at this time, where he's got everything, and the criteria is looking good at the minute, let's stick.
Just picking up on something Carvey said there about the players who won't be around for around 4 or 5 weeks. That's the likes of Bryan Mbeumo, Amad Diallo and Nusa Mazraoui. I know some United fans will think, well, they have to go into the market because these players are going. But they're only going for 4 to 5 weeks, tops. So if they were to bring in players to replace those players going to the Africa Cup of Nations, when they return, what happens to the players that they brought? I think they're just going to take a step back, see who he's got in his squad to fill those gaps. Summer transfer window, perhaps not filled every single gap that they wanted to, particularly in midfield. But as Carvey mentioned there, the kind of players that they're going to be after, A, they're going to be expensive. They're very unlikely to become available in January. And if they are, the premium on those players is going to go up. So I think United might just take a step back and say, we've got enough here at the moment. Let's see if we can get through without the players that have gone to the AFCON. And when they do come back, it will be like new signings coming back to the club anyway.
But, Alan, does that give Manchester United, particularly the players you mentioned, Amad in fine form and Mbeumo, those are 2 key players for them right now. And potentially that could have, if they go far in AFCON, that's for a few weeks of those players not being there. That gives Manchester United's season a time to sort of reverse, surely.
Well, I was just about to say about the AFCON, it's not quite as simple as like them going away for 3 or 4 weeks and they'll come back as they left. You know, my experience of it, and I had a lot of experience at Newcastle with that tournament, is that players go away, okay, the training facilities are not as good, the actual coaching they're getting, the work, the sports science backup isn't there. They sometimes come back not quite right.
Right.
And the impact of AFCON on Manchester United is probably bigger than most clubs because they're key players. So I don't think it would be a word called panic or anything, but I think it's something they need to monitor. I think they will definitely be monitoring the window to see if there is an opportunity arises, because